One. What's goody, everybody? It's your girl Nat Clark here again with on the Nat Clark Show, and we have another special guest with us. She's actually been here before. It's a long time coming. It's been like about a year or some change since we actually sat down and had a conversation on the pod. And that's Miss Carissa Reyes, C Reyes, Big C, Little C, however you want to call her. We got you on the pod. So what's up, C?
What's up? What's up? It's been a year, literally a year and a couple months. I think when we did the podcast, I think it was November because it was either November or December because I was still at Randolph and I had
Yeah,
that
it was
class
like right.
project.
Yeah, and it was right before right before the season. Yeah, yeah. But that's so crazy.
Right before the
Little
season.
intro, a little background about C. Yeah, right before the season, literally. Yes, yes. But just a little background. C, you did you just graduate, right?
No, I'm graduating next week,
Uh,
the 28th.
Okay, awesome. Well, congratulations. The 28th. The 28th. Okay, awesome. Well, congratulations in advance. She's about to get her
Thank you.
bachelor's in criminal justice. You had a lengthy collegiate career.
Yep.
Well, it's been 4 years. You got your associates. Now you're about to get your bachelor's. But throughout those, every year you play college basketball. So kudos to you on that. And honestly, like, just talk to us about your journey, like playing in college from JUCO to D3. Like, let's talk about that a little bit.
Going from, well, first of all, I didn't even think I would make it to play college basketball. Because growing up, I didn't have parents that really knew about sports. So I wasn't in AAU tournaments. I wasn't getting personal trainers. Everything that I did and learned, it either came from the season or just me being at the park playing pickup. So
Gotcha.
senior year came, I didn't really think I would get any offers, but there was one coach who gave me a chance. And it was a small Division III JUCO. And I went there, averaged like 12 points per game. I got MVP. We made it to the championship. The year prior to me transferring there, the school was about 4-20. So the group that my coach brought in that year was really special, and we made it to the championship. After my 2 years, I got recruited to play at Randolph, which that was another stressful thing because the recruiting process after JUCO didn't go so well. I got like one more opportunity to play. Well, I got two. One was in California, and the other one was Randolph. But I chose to go to Randolph because California, it was a bit too far for me. Time zone, and I'm close with my family. I think Cali was just too much. So I decided on Randolph.
Yeah.
Got to Randolph. That was a new experience because I feel like when I did JUCO, I wasn't living on campus. So this was my first time being away from home, being away from my family. Because I didn't mention before, but the JUCO that I was in, it was in New Jersey. It was like 45 minutes from home. So it wasn't too far.
I remember you saying
but
that before.
Randolph was 7 hours from home, and this is my first time being away.
Right.
Randolph, prior to coming to Randolph, there was an issue with my major. That was the biggest thing for me, was my major.
Yeah.
They just started the criminal justice program, and
they did. Yeah, they did.
They were saying that
you already had that associate's
they were saying that I would have to
in that.
Yeah, exactly. So they were all the classes that they were offering were classes that I already took.
Right. That you have a degree in. Like,
yeah, that was the biggest thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were like, you're going to graduate in 2026. I'm like, 2026? What? So,
right, yeah.
I was like, I got to get out of here. Like, this is not going to work. I tried to make it work, but it didn't work. And I ended up transferring to NJCU. They took like all my credits.
Awesome. That's perfect.
Yeah, I ended up at NJCU. It was, I would say, it was a little bit harder than Randolph, conditioning wise. Like the conditioning that we had to do in the preseason, we had to be there at like 5 o'clock in the morning. We were getting trained by an ex-NFL player. So he He had us in the weight room.
Really?
He had us
Ex
conditioning. He had us on the
NFL, not
track.
NBA. NFL.
Yeah, ex NFL player. So
Dang.
he was hardcore. I'm not gonna lie. So it was tough, but it was good.
Yeah,
It was good for me.
I'm glad. And that first year, well, leaving from Randolph, going to NJIC. Is that how you say it?
CU, NJCU.
NJ NJCU. So going to NJCU, y'all
Yeah,
actually won what? Y'all were conference champs that year too, right?
yeah. The year that I transferred, yup, we won. We won the conference
Yeah,
championship. Yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah, we
awesome. Yeah.
won.
Oh my gosh, I wish. That's awesome. I wish, but it's in the past now. But it's all good. So yeah, that's an interesting basketball story. I'm glad you like shared that with us. Is I feel like when it comes to like sports and like just hearing about our athletic careers, athletic like tenure, like we all have a story, whether it's good, whether it's bad. But at the end of the day, it kind of molds us and it makes us into who we are. So with that being said, you playing at NJCU. Sorry, I
CU,
keep getting it
yeah,
wrong. NJCU. Okay, just
yeah.
making sure. How was like playing with that team, like chemistry wise? Like, how did y'all look? Like, how was the atmosphere? You know what I'm saying? Coming from JUCO, going to D3 with the whole new team, with the new coach, with the new staff, new system. Like, how was that transition for you playing there?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest difference was the size of the team. We had about 20 people on this NJCU roster compared to my
Mhm.
JUCO roster, we had about like 10. So that's like half the team
Okay,
right there. So I would say the biggest difference was
right.
the size of the team, and I would say I feel like practices were a little bit longer when it came to Division 3. Um yeah, practices were
Yeah.
longer.
Mm.
We had enough people to scrimmage. If you have 10 people on a JUCO roster, let's say two people don't show up to practice, that's 8 people. Now you don't even have enough to, scrimmage and stuff like that. At least with
To
a
actually go
bigger
up and down.
team, you are
Yeah.
able to go through the plays and run through the sets. So I would say that was the biggest thing. Competition wise,
Mm-hmm.
I would say the competition was better at the D3 level,
Okay.
but I didn't feel like I wasn't able to compete. Like I definitely was able to compete with the better competition.
That's good. That's awesome. That's great. You stepped into your role and you did your thing. Like that's all anybody can ask for. That's awesome. Um, Another question. So since we've met, that was the year what 20? It was fall 2023.
2023.
Since we've met, you
2023, yeah.
yeah 2023. That's so crazy just to say that out loud. But since we've met, you've been on an awesome journey. Like you've really like not just like basketball wise, but just life in general. And you have a testimony. So I kind of want you to share your testimony if you don't mind. Like how has that
Yeah.
transition? Yeah, how has that transition been for you being on your faith journey or your walk with God? Like how has that been from then, from when I met you till now? Like just talk about that a little
Yes,
bit.
yes. All right, so I'm not gonna try to be here talking for 3 hours. I know people don't want to watch a 3 hour episode, so I'm gonna try to condense it, but keep the important details. So when we met
Yes.
at Randolph, um, it was my
Mhm.
first time being away from home. I didn't really know about God. I did grow up in a Christian household, but when I
Okay.
got to about the age of 9, my parents separated and we didn't really go to church that much anymore. Like my mom was still praying and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but we just wouldn't go to church. So from the age of 9 up until I got to Randolph, I had no clue about God. Like all the church memories, they just were just I just couldn't remember it. I'm not gonna lie. I was just so focused on
Yeah.
basketball, just focused on the world and all of this other different stuff. Like I wasn't even thinking about God.
Right.
But at the end of my JUCO career, when I said the JUCO process was hard, I would talk to my mom. And literally right before I went to Randolph, my mom had found a new church. And I just felt so eager to go after all these years from 9 to what I was 21. So from 9 to 21,
Mm.
so this is my first time going to church since I was like 9. And I remember going, and I remember asking my mom prior to going, I'm like, well, is there anybody like me there? Which I was saying, was there anybody that was
Yeah.
in the gay lifestyle? Because, growing up and stuff, you hear, oh, you're gonna go to hell. Like, that's all you hear. Like, you don't hear about having a
Yeah.
relationship with God. You just hear about hell. That, like, that's just all it is. So I stayed away for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked my mother, I'm like, well, is there anybody like me there? And I meant like somebody that was masculine looking, shape up, masculine clothes. And she was like, yeah, there is. And I was like, well, what does she
I remember you had
wear?
a
And she
cut
was like, she
too.
wear
I remember you
jeans.
had like a
Yeah,
whole
yeah. She
yeah.
like,
I remember
she
you had a
like,
whole edge
yeah,
up
she's like, yeah. So she was like, yeah, like she wears jeans, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So
yeah.
now I felt comfortable. I'm like, okay, there's somebody else like me there. Let me just give it a try. So I go, and this is about a week before I leave for Randolph. And I'm like, man, I found a church, but it's time for me to, now I gotta go 7 hours. I'm
To
like,
go.
dang, like so I go to church, I enjoy it, and I go to Randolph. And this is a new journey for me, new basketball career, meeting new people. I was excited and stuff like that. Then I
Right,
would
yeah.
say after the first scrimmage, I just was like, I just don't know if this is for me. Being here, playing time plus my major thing. That was the biggest thing, the major thing. I was like, well, if
Yeah.
basketball is going okay, I can thug out the major. Maybe I'll stay extra year. But then the basketball wasn't working out. I'm like, if basketball and the academics is not
And the
working out,
major.
what am I
Yeah.
doing? Yeah, like what am I
Mhm.
doing? So, I'm trying not to forget any important details. So then it's like the night, it's about 2 days before the first game. And I'm like, if I step on the court, they're gonna count this as my eligibility. And I don't know like if I'm gonna be able to get this back. Cause they
That
said
you got
after you
yeah.
practice, after the first, so I'm like, oh, I was like, I gotta make a decision. So it's one night I can't sleep. I can't sleep. Like my stomach is hurting. I'm tossing and turning.
It's
I'm like,
turning
oh,
and yeah.
goodness. I'm like, and something kept telling me quit the team, and I was like, quit the team. Like I've been grinding my whole life. Quit the like I don't know what school I'm gonna go to. What am I gonna like? I'm just all this stuff is running through my head. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it. So I go to Coach Tia, and before I could
Yeah.
tell her that I'm thinking about leaving and going home, she tells me that she thinks that I should do it. Because I forgot to mention this, but a couple days before, we were having our training session, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I just broke down. I was like, it's like I'm not
Aw.
okay. And I'm like, why
Yeah.
did she have to ask you that? When somebody asks you, "Are you okay?" Like you be fine, and then you just break down.
And then you
So
had
I
that one
just
moment, it's
break
like, no,
down.
I'm not okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man,
Dang.
I'm not okay. Like, I'm not okay. I was like, I miss my family. I just don't know if this is for me. And she was like, well, and she did. I think she was just like, see, like, God has a plan for you, da da da. But still, I don't really know anything about God. So I'm just like, yeah, that's what everybody say. God this, God that. And I was like, yeah, God. And then, literally 2 days after, I go to her again. And before I could tell her that I'm thinking about leaving, she tells me, I think maybe you should go home and visit your family. And I'm like,
Mm.
well, if I'm on the team, then I can't do that. I was like, I was coming to you to tell you that I'm done with the team. And she was like, okay, if that's what you think is best, whatever. I just thought it was crazy how we were like, before I could even tell her that, she was telling me, I'm like, this has to be a confirmation. I'm like, this has to
Yeah,
be.
that's gotta be the
So
sign.
now, yeah, this has to be. So, I considered everything and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna listen. I feel like this is God telling me this. So I'm gonna listen. Because I wouldn't tell myself to quit the team. Like,
Right,
that's not
yeah.
even something I would even think about. So I'm like, okay. So then now I quit the team and I just felt so light. When I tell you, I was just like my biggest thing was, what am I gonna do without basketball? That's why I
Yeah.
was so scared to quit. I'm like, what am I gonna do? So then I go home for break. The day after I go home for break, my car hydroplanes. Literally the day after. My car
Ooh,
hydroplanes. Yes. And I hit like this curb on like this highway, and thank God there were no cars coming behind me, because my like I
good.
was
Yeah.
literally on the left side of the road and it spun to the right side of the road. So I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
oh my goodness. And that's a busy like street, like a busy highway. And literally
Mhm.
right after I hit the curb, I backed up and I was going forward. And guess what's the first car that came behind me after that? Guess what?
Tow truck,
An ambulance. I
an
was like,
ambulance. Oh,
it was literally yes. I was
an
like,
ambulance.
oh my, I'm like, I could have like gotten seriously hurt. Like, so then I called my mother, and my mother don't usually eat McDonald's, but she happens to be at the McDonald's right around the corner where it happened.
Wow,
I'm
she
like,
right around the
yo,
corner.
she got off the line. She didn't even get her food. She got off the line and she was like, I'm literally around the corner. And like where I had the little accident at, there's like a ramp to get to the McDonald's where she's at. So I was like, oh my goodness, my
Okay.
heart was pounding. Like I could not control the car. So I was fine.
Mm.
Bumper was messed up. But now we have an issue. How am I going to get back to Randolph to finish the semester?
Mm.
So I'm like,
Look at
oh,
God. Look at
I'm like,
God.
oh my goodness. So then,
Look at
you know,
God.
I had this teammate from my JUCO, and she was telling me to come to her school that was in New Jersey. And I was like, I don't really know about that. You know, I got to see about the credits, this and that. So the accident happened that made me have to stay in Jersey City longer. So I think I asked Randolph for like an emergency grant to help me get the bumper fixed, because I thought that's the only thing that was wrong with my car. I go to get a
Yeah,
wheel
yeah.
alignment and they're like, your car, like, you're not gonna make it 7 hours. It was like, you got some leaks, the tire rods are messed up, like all this stuff. Cause I had an old car and I drove 7 hours to Randolph.
Right.
So I'm like,
That's not a short
what?
drive from Jersey
I'm
to
like,
Virginia.
what?
Yeah,
Seven
no.
hours.
7 hours,
So I'm
no.
like, what is going on, God? Like, what? Still, I haven't read the Bible yet, nothing. I'm just going off of that one
You just
church
going with the
thing and
flow.
just going with the flow. So I'm just
Going
like,
with the flow.
God, what is going on? But it's like I had a peace about it. I had a peace about it. I was saying like, what is going on? But I also wasn't panicking. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So the day that I was supposed to go back is the day that my
Mhm.
friend called me, and she was like, well, since you can't go back home, since you can't go back to school, why don't you come to this game? Because her school was playing NJCU at NJCU. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
just go.
Okay.
I'm waiting to talk to her coach. The coach is taking forever. So I'll go back in the gym, sit down. Then I see her. So I get up, and the NJCU coach sees me. Now, he knew me prior, but he wasn't really trying to recruit me. So he sees me
Okay.
and he's like, why are you not in school? Like, what's going on? I was like, I had to quit the team. Like, it was too much. And he was like, well, if you want to play, you can come here next semester. And I was like,
Right then
what?
and there, he said that?
Yeah. I'm like,
Like at the
what?
game?
Yeah. He was like, give me a call after the game and we'll talk and everything. And I was like, what? I'm like,
That's so rare.
that's
That's
what I'm
so
saying.
rare.
I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, okay. I call him. At first, I was like, man, I ain't going to play there. But then I was like, I
What
gotta
is
take this
like?
opportunity.
It's not a
I'm
bad.
like,
It's not a bad idea.
I don't have my
Like.
car now, so now I can get to school. And now my only thing was, okay, what is tuition gonna look like? So I ended
Mhm.
up, applying for the school and stuff like that. And I talked to him, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to NJCU. So now it was time for me to go back to Randolph because I had to finish the semester. We had like 2 weeks left because we were
Mhm.
on break,
So like
Thanksgiving break.
Thanksgiving
Yeah, so
break.
that's like the
Okay.
23rd. So we leave for what, Christmas break around like the 15th. So I had like two
Mhm.
weeks to finish, and I ended up taking the Amtrak. It was 7 hours on the train. I brought some of my clothes that I brought, and I went to finish the semester. And I remember going to church before I came back to Randolph. That whole 2 weeks that I couldn't go to Randolph, I ended up going back to the church. And I was just like, God, what is going on? I was like, thank you. Like, this has to be you. Like, I was like, I need to go to church. This has to be God. So I end up going. And I remember the sermon was like, if you want to grow your relationship with God or you want to get to know God more, you got to do stuff that you never did before. And then boom, in my head, I was like, I got to get a Bible. Well, I'm here going to church I don't even have a Bible. I don't know the importance of the Bible. So my mom orders me a Bible. And when I come back to Randolph, that's when I start reading it. Start reading my Bible, and like stuff just started making sense to me as I'm reading. And
Wow.
I'm just growing closer to God now. And I was like, you know what? I'm happy with my decision. Then I applied for the classes and I found out that my tuition was free at NJCU. The whole thing.
What? The whole thing was
Yes.
free?
Free, the
You're lying.
tuition. Now, if I would have had to dorm, I would have had to pay for dorming. But since it's in my hometown, I don't have to dorm. I was
You're right
like,
there up the street from your house.
I'm right there. Literally. I'm like right there. I'm like, what? This is crazy. So, I start getting in my
Wow.
word. I start cleaning up my music. Like I stopped listening to like raps and stuff like that. I started to listen to like more God songs, and I just felt like I was just getting closer to God. I was just like, thank you, God. Like, that's crazy. Like I heard like that night, something kept telling me, quit the team, quit the team, quit the team. And I'm like, I have to listen to this because this has to be God. I'm not gonna tell myself to quit the team. And I was just walking by faith because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought my career was
Yeah.
over. And I think that time that I was thinking about quitting and I didn't know what was gonna happen next, that showed me like, okay, I can't place my identity in basketball because
Mm,
when basketball is over, now I'm just gonna feel worthless. Like there's more to me than basketball. So at that point, I
right.
was discovering like there's more to life than basketball. So
Wow.
so I come home, I left Randolph. I don't even think I said goodbye to anybody. I was just out.
I was
I
like,
was
you
just
didn't say goodbye to
ready to
me.
go.
Like,
Yeah,
you didn't say bye
I
to
was just
me.
ready to go. Like I
I
wasn't
saw your
mad at anybody on
TikToks,
the
but
team, but it was I know what you're
I saw
talking
your
about.
TikTok. You
So
know
I end
exactly
up
what I'm talking
I'm
about.
leaving. Yeah, yeah. So I leave
But
Randolph and
I
I
get it
just
though.
feel
You were
so
stressed. I
free.
get it. I get it. You were stressed,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
was
so glad we
just
kept in touch. Like, but I saw your TikToks, bro. That was funny. I ain't gonna lie, that was
yeah.
hilarious.
So I went back home and my car is all messed up. That was one thing that was stressing me out. But I was like, you know what? I'm able to get to school. I live in a town where even if you don't have a car, we have the train, the light rail, the bus. Like it's very easy to get around. And I was like, my mother has a car, so I don't need to be stressing. If I have to let the car go, have to let the car go.
Yeah.
So I end up coming back to Jersey City. I start at NJCU. Um, I start going to church more, and that's when this one day, I think the pastor was like, "Oh, is your life pleasing to God?" Like she said it to the people she was preaching, and I was like, "Hmm." And I was like, "I used to curse a lot. I don't know if you remember, but I, Nat, I don't
DJ
know if
would
you
tell
remember."
DJ would tell me.
I don't know if you remember, but every other word was a curse word. So that was like the first thing God convicted me of, like just cursing. And I was like, I gotta stop cursing. But I think it was the music I was listening to. So,
What you hearing?
um,
Yep.
yeah. So I was like, you know what? I started cleaning up my playlist. The cursing like slowly stopped. I really think it was music because it just slowly, like naturally stopped. Like when you curse for so long, you curse without even knowing that you're cursing. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just
Yeah.
cleaning up my music, whatever. And then that's when I remember I was in a relationship with a woman. And now my whole life I heard it was wrong. So I'm like,
Mm.
yikes. I'm like, you know
Wow.
what? I'm about to see what this Bible has to say. I'm going to stop listening to what everybody else saying. I'm going to read it for myself. So I
For
go in
yourself.
Leviticus,
Yeah.
whatever. I read it and I'm like,
You
I
read a
was
lot of
like, oh
stuff,
my
huh?
goodness. Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I can't be in this relationship anymore. I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I
Yeah.
start going on Reddit. I start, you know,
On Reddit.
this gonna be wrong because I know some people they be doing this too. I went on Reddit and I looked up, can you be gay and Christian? And everything kept saying no. People were saying, I was in a 5-year relationship. I left her because it wasn't pleasing to God. I'm so heartbroken. I'm never getting a relationship again. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, I don't want that to be me. I'm like,
Yeah.
everything just started going good. I just got to the new team, the free tuition. Now this?
And then God gonna shake that
Ah,
table too. He gonna shake that
I'm like,
table.
now this? Are you kidding me? I was like, oh my goodness. So then, I think some testimonies start coming up about people who like left that lifestyle and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I'm just like, but it was like feminine girls. It wasn't people that was like masculine and stuff like that. Because
Okay.
when you're you know, when you're like the masculine type, you can't hide all the damages you already did, like the shape up and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I was leaving the lifestyle, people on the outside still gonna think that I'm in it. So that was a big part too. I'm like,
Mm,
I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, what am I gonna tell her? We've been together
mm.
5 years. Now all of a sudden I'm gonna tell her like, oh, this is wrong, you know?
5 years
So
is a
I
long
was
time.
just,
Wow.
mind you, I just got to this new team. So now this is putting stress on me. So now it's like, dang, I can't even like be happy that I got to the new team because now I got to deal with this.
Right. You stress about
So I'm
the other
like,
aspect
I'm
of
just,
yeah.
yeah. So
The
now
oth-
for
yeah.
months, no, not even for months, for weeks, I'm in my head like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What have I done? What am I gonna do? What are people gonna say about me? Like, I'm just so stressed. So I was like, you know what? I have to do it today because just staying with her, just being uncomfortable, it just feels so heavy. Like, what is going on?
Mm.
So I decided before this game I was gonna do it.
Before the
She
game?
was at the game. No, after the game, my bad, after the game.
Oh, I thought you
After
said
the game, I was
before.
like, I'm gonna do it
Oh.
after. No. After the game. I was like, after the game, I'm gonna break things off. This is it. No looking back. She was at the game. I think I told her not to come to the game. I can't remember. But she was at the game and I was just like, I just felt so bad. I'm like, what am I gonna say? Like, she's not gonna understand. So my coach puts me in the game. I get in the game and I literally freeze up. Like, the ball gets
No.
passed to me. I literally have a wide open shot and I pass it, the ball gets stolen.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
No.
He
Your
took me
mind, your
out
head won't right.
immediately.
Your head
He
won't
took me
right.
out immediately. He said, "You are not ready to play today." I said, "I'm not." I was like, "I'm not." And the tears would just come down. I'm like, "I'm not." I sat on the bench. I was
Oh.
just like, I was trying so hard not to cry. I'm like, "Oh my goodness." So after the game, I get in the car. I'm like, "Look, I didn't even know what to say. I don't even remember what I said. But I was just
Mhm.
like, we can't be together anymore. Like, this is not pleasing to God. I'm trying to go closer to God, and I don't think, this is pleasing to Him and stuff like that. She's crying, and I'm just like I don't know. I don't know. Like, we were together
Yeah.
5 years. Like, I
That's a
would have
long time
never
too.
imagined. Like,
Yeah.
so anyway, the next day comes, and I'm just like sadness, depression. I'm just like, what am I gonna do? So I continue to go to church and stuff like that, continue to grow
Nice.
closer to God. God
Nice.
starts putting people in my path that are also following Christ. I had this one
Nice.
friend and I was telling him like, I want to get closer to God and stuff like that. And I was telling him like, you know what, I'm gonna get one last shape up. I told him, I said, I'm gonna get one
No.
last shape up. He's like, what? He's like, why would you even do that? He was like, if you want to leave the lifestyle, why would you even want to make yourself look like you're still in it? He's like, no. I was like, all right, you know what? You're right. So anyways, so then like after I left her, like I was just it's a heartbreak, I don't it's
Yeah.
something I wasn't used to. We were together for 5 years.
Mhm.
Um and then I just start realizing, like, God started showing me, like, I didn't create you to be acting like a guy, to dress like a guy, to, like, I made you a woman. And nothing you can do can change that.
Right.
So I'm just
Nothing.
like, all these years, I didn't like how God created me. And once I came back to Christ, that's when God started showing me, like, look, like, you're beautiful the way I made you. You don't have to shave your head. You don't have to dress like a guy. Like, I made you a woman for a reason. So, I
Yeah.
start growing my hair out. It
Stepping
all
your
grew
feminine
back
energy, girl.
finally. Ooh,
Yes.
ooh,
Yes.
it all grew back. But through that time period where I had to wait for the hair to grow back, where I had to figure out what am I gonna wear because
Right, your
all of my
clothes.
clothes are
Yes,
So
your
one day
clothes.
I got a garbage bag. I just threw everything out. I just was like, this all gotta go. It gotta go because no, this all has to go. And I started another thing with me is I used to straighten my hair. I used to have that bun all the time. I used to
Yes.
straighten my hair. And like after I came to Christ, God was showing me like, look, you still trying to alter how I made you. Your hair is curly. Why are you damaging your curls? Because I did not like my curls growing up. Like I wanted
Really?
them gone. Yeah,
Really?
I didn't
You
like it.
like
I don't
that
know
straight,
why. Like,
that slick, like flat
yeah,
iron. Okay.
I guess I don't know what I don't know what
Really?
was going on. So after I came to Christ, I'm like, oh my goodness, I damaged my curls. These I was just going through so much. I was like, this is unbelievable.
And this is
It
what
was
the
like God
span
just
of
started to
like,
open up my eyes about
this is like the span of what, a month or two? Give or take?
like
Like
2 months.
two
Like
months?
2 months after like 2 months after I left Randolph.
Wow.
I broke things off around February.
Mm.
So that was 2 months after Randolph.
Wow.
Um, and the people at my church, like they never looked down on me or treated me differently. Even when I was coming in with the shape up and the sweatpants, like they were, they didn't make me feel comfortable in my sin, but at the same time, they weren't like pointing at me because we're all sinners. You
Yeah,
know, it
we
says
are.
we all have fallen short. So
Hmm.
that's not even godly to even do that to people.
No, you're
But
supposed to lift people up,
yeah,
never bring them
so
down, because everybody's on their own journey. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
right,
Yep.
exactly. But yeah, so I appreciate that, and so yeah, I just started changing. Then like I was just accepting being a woman, like actually being a woman. Like I remember it was hard, like for me to not desire to be with her still. Like after I left, like it wasn't even the fact that I was still attracted to women. It was the fact that I was still attached to her
Mm.
and us. So I was just like, you know what? I'm never getting in a relationship again. I'm just gonna stay single. Like I'm saying all this I'm saying all this stuff. Like I'm telling you, it was hurting not to pick up the phone and call, not to mind you, she lives like 5 minutes from me. So it was so easy to just be like, hey, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I had to fight my flesh. Like I just knew like I couldn't go back. And through time, prayer, and just a community of people like my family and stuff like that, um, I got delivered from it. And I remember like when I would see women now when I went out, like it wasn't the same. Like I wasn't looking at them how it was before. Like I'm looking at them like this is my sister. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Like I'm not even thinking, like God was like just purifying my mind in that way and just changing me.
Awesome.
And
That's great.
you
Yeah.
know,
For the
that's what
better.
happened. And then
Yeah.
from there, I just kept going. But through all of that, through all the pain, it was just showing me a lot of different stuff. It was showing me stuff about basketball, like making basketball an idol,
Mm.
you know, making this relationship my identity. Feeling like when we broke up, I felt like the world was over. Like I didn't have any purpose. Like,
Wow.
not even wanting to be here anymore at a point in time. And it was just like looking back, I'm like, that is insane. I'm so glad God didn't take me away when I asked him to, or I'm so glad I didn't do anything stupid during that time. But
Yeah.
yeah, God just started changing me. And it wasn't even just the homosexuality, like it was just a lot of different stuff. Pride, anger,
Mm.
having basketball as my idol, being selfish, not thinking about other people, only thinking about myself. God just started changing me. And um God healed my relationship with my dad. I don't think I ever
Wow.
talked about my dad, but me and my
Yeah.
dad were on bad terms for a long time. And he's a Christian man. But he tried to come back into my life. once I started following Christ, once I started doing the right thing. And I was just like, no, like you don't get to come back
Mm,
when things is right. But then
yeah.
God was showing me, what if I treated you like that? What if I didn't forgive you when you did? And I was
You
just
was
like,
doing all that, yeah. What if God turned your back on you?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, you
Yeah,
know what? I'm gonna forgive my dad. God gave me the strength to forgive my dad. Now we have a great relationship. Like we
that's
be talking about
awesome.
God. He's a theologian. He's in his he got a whole Christian library. Like I was just like, dang, I thought I didn't need this relationship with my dad, but God was showing me like I made him your dad for a reason. And he's still alive for a reason. Because a lot of people don't have both their parents still alive.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm just like, you know what? God just been showing me a lot of stuff, giving me gratitude, and just changing my life. And that's basically what happened when I left Randolph. I know a lot of y'all was like, yo, what happened to her? Like, she left this way. What happened?
Yeah.
But that's all of it, you know,
Mhm.
condensed.
Yeah. I just love being a witness to your story. Like, you're not the same person from when we met. You're an even better person, like from
No.
then to now. But I've always loved your energy. I've always loved your enthusiasm. We've always been cool, and I'm just glad that like
Yeah.
we still keep in touch, whether we're a dorm room around the corner or miles or 100 miles away. Like we've always kept in touch, and I just love that. Like I love your enthusiasm, and like I said, I'm a witness to your testimony, and I'm just glad that like I can go on social media and I see you're doing good and you strengthen that relationship with God. Because me being a believer and having another sister in Christ is always just heartwarming, like to me, and I just love that. Like I love, and I'm so glad like I got to like actually hear your story from your mouth, like because I've been wanting to hear it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, and I'm just and I'm
Yeah.
just so happy for you, yo. You're about to graduate. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, and I'm just glad, like, you're not only my friend, but you're also just my sister in Christ. So I'm so glad you got to share your
Amen.
story on this platform for not only for me, but for other people to see and hear. So that's just awesome. But yeah, so the next question I want to ask you is like, what's next, like on your next journey, like as far as like graduating, about to get your second degree, and just going into the real world, I guess. What's next for you?
um, so I'm still trying to pursue, playing professionally. You know, that's not really easy, especially when you don't have a big name, when you're
Yeah,
D3, when you're in an
yeah,
when you're from an urban community. I don't have parents just writing checks for me to go to combines and stuff.
yeah.
So, I'm still praying to God, if that's his will for me, for it to happen. But in the meantime, I am going to be looking to go into coaching.
Nice.
My head coach actually asked me to come back and coach next year to be assistant coach. So, I'll be doing that, building up my resume for coaching, and I'm gonna be pursuing my criminal justice career, if that's in
Okay.
God's will too. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take the police exam. I think in July I'll be taking the exam. And yeah,
Nice.
just seeing where God is taking me, you know,
Yeah.
I went without, God showed me my life without basketball and I had a peace with it. And I'm like, my identity is in Christ, not in basketball, not how well I play and stuff like that. Because that used to take a toll on me if I didn't play well. Now I feel like
Yeah.
I'm just worthless. And that's a lot of athletes, so that's another conversation.
That is because I
But
got my own experience
yeah,
too with it. So yeah.
yeah, so but yeah, God's just showing me like number one thing is I'm a disciple and follower of Christ. Next comes my family, career, and all of that. So just being rooted and grounded in him has helped me tremendously, has given me peace, like, you know, all of that.
All of that, yeah, awesome, awesome. I was gonna ask you, like, that's gonna be my next question, like, as far as the criminal
What?
justice, like that route, like you being, like, having that major, having that, about to have
Yeah.
that second degree, like, I was gonna ask you, like, what part of criminal justice you want to go into, and you say police, so that's awesome, yeah.
Um, I applied for police and sheriff. I really want to do sheriff, but we'll
Hmm.
see. I
Yeah,
applied for both, so we'll see.
that's so
We'll
funny
see what
because
God has in store.
yeah, that's so funny because my best friend, he's actually about to leave for the or the state trooper academy next month
Yeah.
on the 25th.
Wow.
Yeah, so but he looks forward to it. He wants to be state trooper though, like and for the state
Yeah.
of Virginia. So, but he's excited about that.
Wow.
I I
That's
can't do law
good.
enforcement personally. I can't. That's not for me. but, but hey, we need more people in that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. Um, I'm gonna just go ahead ask this final question. We're almost out of time. Plus, it's getting late, and I know you just got off work. But this is just my
Yeah.
ending question for you. What's something that you would tell your old self going through what you went through,
Ooh.
being on the journey you went on from age 9? I don't know if you started playing at that age, but age 9, just being introduced to God to age 22. Yeah, 22. Yeah,
23. Well, I'm
20,
23 now.
23. My apologies. To age
Yeah.
23, like, what would you just tell yourself, like your old self, just being on the journey you went on? Like, just some word of advice. That.
Honestly, I wouldn't change anything. I'm not gonna be honest. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't change anything because I feel like I needed to go through everything that I went through to become me and to be who God has called me to be. Because had I been handed down everything, how am I gonna relate to people who are like me? You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
feel like God equips us in different ways to be able to help other people because it's not just about us and our story. It's about all of us together and serving each other and being there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because some things that I went through after surrendering to God was stuff that other people had went through and I wasn't able to help them. I didn't understand them because I didn't go through it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think everything that I went through, I needed to go through, to be honest. So I don't think I would change anything. I would just, because even changing one thing changes everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm just glad we got time to talk again, be face to face. I'm so grateful to have you again on the pod part 2. We've been asking each other, "Oh, when is the
Yes.
right time to do it?" And tonight was tonight.
Yes.
So just thank you so much, C, just joining the pod again. It's always a pleasure talking to you and hearing your journey, hearing your story. Um and it's always just a pleasure being your friend at the end of the day. Like I said, you always got a friend in Virginia. Next time I'm in Jersey, I'll hit you up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we got to link, get drinks or something,
Yeah.
go to church, whatever case may be. But I really appreciate
Yeah.
I really appreciate you hopping on and just talking and sharing your story. I'm just like I said, I'm a witness to your testimony. Just I'm just front row right there. So yeah, gang. But that's all the time I have for tonight. I'll see you soon. But thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all can check out this video on YouTube at Natalie Clark. You can also hear this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we'll be putting out more episodes with other athletes and other people as in general. But that's all I have for tonight. Peace out. Thank you. See you again. God bless you.
Peace.
And we'll see
God
y'all next
bless you.
time.
See you.